Hey Nikita, how are you this afternoon?
I'm good, Jake. How are you?
Oh, I'm great. It's a beautiful Tuesday.
Yeah.
Nice and humid in Georgia.
Yeah. It's been really, really hot lately. 98 degrees. I'm like, I don't know where this weather's coming from, but we should have known better because the winter was so cold. It was crazy. So, what the old folks say, just global warming.
Oh gosh.
Yeah.
Well, that's always an
How was your day?
interesting topic. My day was nice. I had a
Yeah.
real busy day at work. I actually worked straight through lunch. Wanted to go for a run after I got off, so it was nice being able to have my decompress time.
Nice.
Yeah, what about you? How was your day?
My day was long. I had a meeting this morning with the president, so that was cool. And then I went to some stores.
Awesome. How are those store visits going?
Good. I visited this store last week, and it was a terrible visit. And I told them I will be back, and next time I come back, this thing better be fixed. And it was. So it was a really good visit. I'll follow up with them next week, too. So it was cool.
Good. Is that one of your stores that you kind of have on your radar at all times?
Yeah. They're a huge store for my entire area.
Yep.
And so they mean a lot to the group, and I need them to be executing. And we just bought DirecTV, so that's cool.
Wow, I'm sure you talked about that with the president for a little bit, right?
Absolutely. So yeah, we just bought DirecTV, and I wanted to make sure that all my representatives understood the new plans that are coming down the pipeline, understood their discounts they're going to be getting, and make sure they know the product more importantly, so that we can leverage it to our customers. So a lot of high fives and smiley faces when I went to visit to talk about the DirecTV merger.
That's exciting. I know, it's made some great public news and some serious headlines on CNN dealing with it. So
Yeah.
I was curious if it was going to go through after seeing what happened with T-Mobile.
Oh, that's a sore spot for us. We're still in debt because of it, because we still have to pay for all the fees and stuff. And then now it's like T-Mobile took our money like a ex-girlfriend or something and just ran off, and now they're trying to put us out of business, which won't happen. But yeah, so I'm glad that the DirecTV merger did go through. It means a lot for our business. So
Well, that's good. Great to hear about the business. Happy to hear that's going well.
yeah.
We talked about a week ago when we first met and got introduced as a coach and coachee.
Mm-hmm.
And you said you wanted to schedule a little bit of time today to talk about some things that have been going on in your life. So, what's on your mind? What brought you here today that you wanted to talk to me about?
Yeah, first I wanted to say thank you. I know you are very, very busy. You have a lot to do and a lot going on. And in your position, you're so high up. It's hard for you, I'm sure, to talk to a little person like me. But I really appreciate you taking the time to sit with me. But I'm just so overwhelmed with my duties, my roles, and trying to balance a lot of things that's going on. So that's why I want to talk to you today, just balance.
Okay, so work-life balance is where you're having some issues with?
Yeah, I think it's because I spread myself too thin or whatever the case might be. But, I'm in school, I work, and I have family stuff. So I really want to, my goal is to really just come up with a way that I can actually, I don't want to say tackle work-life balance, but get some movement on and get into that point of having a balance.
Okay, so having that balance, have you kind of thought about what that looks like for you down the road?
Peace. Quitting my job. No, I'm just playing. That's a good question. I think what that looks like down the road is within myself, me feeling like I am satisfying each aspect of what makes me. Whether it be I'm satisfying my work aspect, I'm satisfying working out, I'm satisfying community service, school, and that I'm managing my schedule, and my schedule's not managing me. So I think that's what it looks like.
Okay, and have you thought about what specific hours might look like? Have you what does a day maybe look like if you're able to do one day? Is it something you want to tackle short term, long term? Is it a day by day thing? Do you see this being something you need to work out over a whole week or even a full month? What's that look like?
So I definitely would say this goal is both short term and long term. Short term being that I might have to have some things in place to discipline myself to have that balance. And then long term being that it's just natural, that I'm naturally having that balance of work life. Yeah.
Okay, and in terms of, you said working out was one of the things, school, work itself. There was one more thing. Tell me that.
So working out, school, work, and then family. Just
family
leisure
side.
and community service.
Okay.
Yeah.
And how much time, I know work can take up a lot of time.
Mm-hmm.
What about your family? How much time would you like to spend with your family per week?
Ooh, good question. Realistically speaking, probably 2 hours a week with my family. It's easier because my brothers are young and my mom, they live with my mom. So it's like if I go over the house, I'm spending time with, I'm hitting 3 in 1. So I think, spending 2 hours a week is definitely feasible with my family.
And how much have you been doing over the last month? How many times would you say you saw them?
Probably twice in the last month, yes.
Okay, I'm just trying to get a good gauge.
Yeah.
And does that go about the same amount of time as you said with community service?
So no, I failed a lot of community service. My New Year's resolution was that I would do something once a month back in January, and I've only done one community service project this whole year, or two. Yeah, this whole year. So I'm not doing too well with that one.
Okay, well that's fine. We're here to discuss that.
Yeah.
So what have you tried? So when you did do that one community service project, how did you plan that? What was the steps on preparing for that?
I made time for it. So I put it on my calendar. It was through church, actually. And at that moment, I definitely would have had to put it on my calendar and try to figure out a way to make sure I didn't plan anything on top of it. And so I was disciplined enough to do that, and then it worked.
Okay. And then with work, how are you going about your schedule with that?
Same thing, just putting it, if I know I have to do store visits, I will block off my calendar. Okay, Tuesday I'm going here, Wednesday I'm going there, Thursday I'm taking the day off, Friday, Saturday, Sunday I'm working. So I structure that too. And I try, what I'm thinking about doing is trying to get all of my visits out the way early in the month.
Okay.
So it gives me a little bit more leeway throughout the rest of the month.
All right. How often are you scheduling ahead of time with the others? Those two main things where it comes to family and community service and working out.
I'm not. Yeah, I'm not at all. I sort of, if I get something from my mom or she calls me or anything like that, it's like, okay, let me try to move some things out the way and try to go see the family. And community service, if something lands in my lap and it's convenient, then I'll do it. And I think that's probably why I haven't done anything in the last, couple of months.
So what's holding you back from reaching out to your mom more? What are some issues that you might see when you're trying to schedule with her so you can work that in a little bit better?
So I think what's holding me back is me, right? Just not being disciplined enough to do it. And what was the second part of it? But I think me is holding me back. What was the second part of it?
I was just curious what kind of obstacles could hold you back, prevent you from actually being able to spend the time. I know you want to get it on the books, it sounds like. But I want to know what obstacles could prevent you from doing that or doing the community service, because work, it sounds like you've got planned way in advance, and that's great. It's, you've got the structure that I think you need. I want to know what kind of things would prevent you from being able to actually schedule these things in advance.
And I think I said something to her earlier that I can bring back and it's going to help me now, which would be saying no. Knowing that I can't do everything and there's some things that's going to have to give. And so I think when something comes across, I say, okay, either I can do it or I can't. That'll help me alleviate some of the time, and then also scheduling my visits earlier, and then just maybe coming up with a day or certain days in the month. It doesn't matter what goes on. That's the day that is for community service. That's the day that's for, I don't know. That's the day for community service. That's the day for spending time with family. And it might be harder to do it every once a week, but maybe I just decide what days in the month that I'm going to do this and actually plan it and make time for it. I'll give you an example where I didn't do it effectively and what I learned from that. My mom hasn't been to the movies in 10 years. She called me earlier during the week and said, hey, can we go to the movies on Sunday after school? And I was like, sure. I didn't put it on my calendar. I completely forgot. I'm leaving school, calling my mom like, hey, I just left school and just updating her on life. And she's like, you know, we've been waiting on you, right? And I'm like, what? So long story short, I had forgot that I was supposed to take out to the, I think it's still recording. Long story short, I had to take her out of, I felt bad.
Yeah.
Basically, I felt really, really bad.
So was it just her waiting on you, or that your brother's waiting on you as well?
Yeah, both of them were waiting on me.
Oh,
yeah,
wow.
It was really bad.
Well, at least you had a good key takeaway. What are some other options, when it comes to trying to, help balance your work and life right now?
Well, with my church, because the community service is huge for me. With my church, they have every third, they have an email list that's sent out to the team, and I have a list of different things that you can participate in. And so I think if I get on that list, because I'm not on it yet, I think if I get on that list, at least I'll get things pushed to me as opposed to me searching and looking for things.
Awesome. Yeah. That sounds like a fantastic option. It sounds like something you can knock out right now and help you with planning in advance.
Absolutely, yeah.
So one thing in regards to that, what kind of commitment do they require? Because I know you said that they send things out in advance. If you have to flex your schedule a little bit and you sign up for something, is that going to be an issue, or how can you see that impacting the quality of work that you do with the church?
Yeah, so if I sign up, I definitely want to make sure I meet my commitment. Just because that's spiritually, I feel like I should. So I won't sign up. They let you sign up to literally the last minute. Like, you can sign up the day before, but I won't sign up until I'm for sure knowing that I can actually make it. So that they're not expecting me and I don't show up. It's better that I sign up last minute, and if there's slots available, I do it. Then sign up early, and then they can't depend on me.
So we discussed two great options. I want you to dig deep, think hard. What's one more thing that you can think of that would help you balance your work life? I know you mentioned exercising was something you really enjoy doing. What are some other things that you can do to help, balance Nikita out?
Turn my phone off. Picking times out of the day that will turn my phone off. That just, okay, I'm going to disconnect. I'm going to meditate. I'm going to pray. I'm going to jog like you do.
I was going to just call it jogging, but I appreciate it.
But maybe jogging, doing something, and just take that block of time to do not disturb. An iPhone works well with that. You just press a button and no one disturbs you. It goes straight to voicemail. So
that's a pretty cool feature. Side note, I saw it earlier today. Someone did that, and it helped with so many things. So I think that's a great option, though, because they really were able to disconnect while they were at lunch. So that sounds great. How committed are you to doing these things? What is it what out there can help make sure that holds you accountable to doing these things?
I'm very committed to doing it. If extremely. What can hold me accountable? I mean, I would love to meet with you once a month, just to check and see just how things are going. Even if it's over the phone, 15 minutes, you can hold me accountable to this. I also think my significant other can hold me accountable to this as well. So I'm not at the house texting him while I'm supposed to be spending, time doing other things. And my mom will always hold me accountable to doing those things. So I think my mother as well.
Doing those mother duties.
Yeah.
And what other tools can you use in place to make sure that you're meeting these goals, make sure you're holding up to these appointments with your mother, with your mom and your brothers, making sure that you're, hitting the church community service up, and making sure you're, finding time for your health, because I know that's important, especially when it comes to the stressful life you live. That's important.
The tools that I can use in order to make this happen are my calendar, my phone. So my calendar, my Outlook calendar that syncs with my work. I could put personal stuff on there and just put it private so no one knows. But I can use that tool. I can also use you as a resource, and my mom. I can also use my phone, set an alarm, when I'm supposed to, okay, now it's time to shut your phone off. Just using those different tools and resources that help a lot.
All right. So out of all those options and tools, resources, me, of course, I'm going to make sure that I live up to my commitment to meeting with you monthly, and even if it's just 5 minutes here and there, those are sometimes the most important conversations to have.
Right.
which of those do you feel like is going to be the first thing that you start off working on?
My calendar.
Your calendar?
Yep, absolutely. My calendar. I live by it. I wake up, roll over. Okay, I see what I got to do. So yeah, calendar.
Okay. On a scale of 1 to 10, 10 being I'm definitely going to do this and I'm starting right now. 1 being I don't know, I'm still a little hesitant. Where are you thinking you're at?
Oh, I'm gonna do it 10.
You're a 10?
Yeah, I haven't tried this before,
Okay.
so I'm really excited about giving it a shot. I think it makes sense.
Okay, great. Well, that's great. What other support do you need from me and from anybody else that you can?
No, nothing else. I think that's awesome. Like I said, once a month, put it on my calendar. We can have a recurring meeting,
Mm-hmm.
and I really don't need any other support other than that.
Great. Well, it sounds like we've got a great plan in place.
Mm-hmm.
I know you said I'm fine doing the third Tuesday of every month, kind of like what we discussed earlier. I think that's going to fit your plan really well.
Absolutely.
And then I'm also going to follow up with you in 2 weeks because the first 2 weeks are the most important time right now to make sure we start off strong.
Mm-hmm.
And if you don't do that, I'm going to come down. But, it's because I want you to have a good balance because otherwise, you mentioned to me the first time we met, you work to live. Is that right? You work to live, not live to work.
Mm-hmm.
So I want to make sure that that's something that you can do because it's important very early on in your career that we will achieve that goal for you.
Thank you, and that's why I wanted to reach out to you. So I really appreciate this.
Absolutely, Nikita. Thanks so much for your time.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.